When most people think of Bitcoin mining today, they imagine massive warehouses filled with loud machines and enormous power consumption. But Bitcoin didn't start that way. In the beginning, mining was something anyone could do, right from a regular home computer. To understand why mining looks the way it does today, we need to go back to the very beginning and follow the evolution of mining hardware. In 2009, when Bitcoin launched, mining was done using CPUs, the main processor inside every computer. At the time, the network was tiny, difficulty was low, and blocks were easy to find. Early miners could earn Bitcoin just by leaving their computers running overnight. There was no competition, and no reason to use specialized hardware. But it didn't take long for miners to realize something important. Graphics cards, or GPUs, were far better at the repetitive calculations required for hashing. GPUs could perform thousands of calculations at once, while CPUs worked mostly one task at a time. Almost overnight, GPU mining crushed CPU mining. CPU miners were priced out, and mining became more competitive. As competition increased, miners looked for even more efficient solutions. This led to FPGAs, field programmable gate arrays. These were chips that could be configured specifically for mining. Used mostly between 2011 and 2013. They were more efficient than GPUs and used less electricity, but they were expensive and difficult to program. Unlike ASICs, which are locked to one algorithm, FPGAs can be reprogrammed to support different mining algorithms if network conditions or profitability change. FPGAs were a stepping stone, powerful, but not yet the final form. Then came the biggest transformation in Bitcoin mining history: ASICs. ASIC stands for Application-Specific Integrated Circuit. These machines do one thing and one thing only: calculate Bitcoin hashes as fast and efficiently as possible. Compared to GPUs or FPGAs, ASICs were thousands of times more powerful. Top-tier ASICs can generate hundreds of terahashes per second, THS, a rate unachievable by general-purpose computers. Once ASICs entered the network, every previous form of mining hardware became obsolete almost instantly. Key manufacturers like Bitmain, MicroBT, and Canaan dominate the market with new, more efficient models continually being released. ASICs dominate mining for one simple reason: efficiency. Mining is a competition. The miner with the lowest cost per hash survives. CPU and GPU-powered devices simply have a low hash rate for the amount of power consumed. ASICs deliver far more hashes while consuming far less electricity per calculation. In a system where margins are razor-thin, efficiency is everything. Mining isn't about how much Bitcoin you earn, it's about how much Bitcoin you keep after expenses. Electricity, cooling, hardware costs, and downtime all matter. CPU and GPU miners have a high electricity cost per hash. Terahashes per second is a unit used to determine the rate of data processing power, and it is equivalent to 1 trillion hashes per second. GPU hash rates measure cryptographic calculation speed for mining, with most modern cards ranging from 30 to over 100 megahashes per second. GPU power consumption varies widely, from under 100 watts for entry-level cards to over 600 watts for high-end models like the RTX 4090, driven by transistor counts and clock speeds. ASICs allow miners to generate more hashes per watt, lowering the cost per unit of work. Energy usage is continuous, often exceeding 72 kilowatt-hour daily per unit. High-end Bitcoin ASICs like the Antminer S21 series reach hundreds of terahashes per second, even over 1,000 terahashes per second for advanced models, offering high performance but balanced with power efficiency joules per terahash. ASIC miners typically consume between 1,300 watts and over 3,500 watts of power, with modern high-performance units like the Bitmain Antminer S21 Pro demanding around 3,510 watts. That's why modern mining operations focus obsessively on efficiency. Some critics worry that ASICs lead to centralization in Bitcoin mining. And it's a fair question. After all, specialized hardware isn't cheap. But the reality is more nuanced. Mining operations vary in size and hashing power. There are small garage or home miners with only 1 to 2 ASICs. Then there are mid-size warehouses dedicated to mining Bitcoin with more ASIC miners and cooling systems required to keep hardware performing optimally. Finally, there are large industrial mining farms. Large farms often connect directly to high-voltage transmission lines or utilize dedicated substations to handle massive loads. To prevent costly downtime, uninterruptible power supply (UPS) systems and backup generators are essential to ensure continuous operation. A reliable, wired, Ethernet or fiber optic, high-speed internet connection is mandatory, preferably with backup connections for redundancy. While ASIC mining does create large professional operations, it also dramatically increases Bitcoin's security. To attack the network, an attacker wouldn't just need powerful computers. They would need massive amounts of capital, hardware, and electricity, all operating at the same time. This creates a powerful economic barrier. The cost of attacking Bitcoin quickly outweighs any possible reward. And even large miners don't control the network. They compete with each other, follow the same rules, and are constantly checked by thousands of independent nodes. If a miner tries to cheat, the network simply rejects their blocks. In Bitcoin, security doesn't come from trust, it comes from competition. ASICs don't weaken the system. They turn Bitcoin into one of the most expensive networks in the world to attack, and that's exactly the point. Bitcoin mining hardware has come a long way. What started on simple home computers has evolved into highly specialized machines securing a global financial network. Each step forward, from CPUs to GPUs, from FPGAs to ASICs, made mining faster, harder, and far more competitive. But it also made Bitcoin stronger. Today, these machines don't just compete for rewards. They form a massive economic wall protecting the network. The more powerful and efficient mining becomes, the more expensive it is to attack. To manage rising electricity costs and environmental concerns, future farms are increasingly powered by dedicated, off-grid renewable energy sources. While the U.S. has a high concentration of miners, companies are also expanding to other regions with favorable energy policies and low-cost clean energy. Next-generation facilities are designed as modular, high-density data centers, using innovative cooling solutions. In upcoming episodes, we'll explore where mining happens today, how energy choices shape the network, and what the future of mining really looks like. These videos take a lot of time to compile and edit. If you want clear, honest explanations without the hype, subscribe to Bitcoin Mining World. It helps me grow my channel and continue to put out better content for you.